High as hell when I'm in the clouds. That's that space shit. Elevated, I'm hella faded.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Divine Destiny. This is going to be another pick a card. It is February 20th, and today's pick a card I'm going to kind of expand on the last reading that we did, where I did, what are they thinking about you? This is going to be the same type of thing, but it's what are they saying about you? So not only is it, the person that came to your mind when you thought they, but it's the things that they might talk to people about you about. So that's what this is going to be. Thank you guys so much for liking and subscribing and commenting, and sharing your energy. I love it so much. It's like my favorite thing to get on here and have you guys to talk to and respond to. I want to thank everyone who's been getting the readings, the personal readings. Thank you so much. I have so much fun doing them, and I am so happy when you write back and tell me that, things resonated and that, I was on point. That really is great for me. So thank you so much. I really hope I'm able to help everyone as much as possible. If you need help, go to divinedestinytarot.com. I have lots of personal readings there. I made them really cheap, so I mean, most people can afford them. I know those are more luxury things than necessities. So I try to keep most of my prices really low so people can afford them. All right, well, I think I've babbled on enough for right now. So I'm going to eventually go quiet here, and you guys can pick which one of your choices you have. Just clear your mind, whichever one, pops out to you. If two pop out, that's fine. Hell, if you like three of them, listen to all three of them. It's whatever resonates with you. You might pick one and decide you feel better about the second one. It's whatever kind of jumps out at you. All right, so I hope everyone has a really great day, and I will see you guys in the piles. Bye. Okay, pile number one. All right. Oh, okay. Okay. I'll start. Okay. How's everyone doing? Good? All right. So, Seven of Earth would be Seven of Pentacles. That's the card where he's like a big bush of stuff and all these pentacles on it, and he's just kind of like standing there. He's not really doing anything. He could be daydreaming. Maybe he's just not wanting to do work. Something like that. But it's definitely a pause. Anytime there's, Seven of Earth or Pentacles, that's a pause. It's like a break. So, the thing about this kind of a break, though, is it's a 7 in Pentacles. So it's a higher numbered Pentacle card. So that guarantees, the rewards that come with that. It's kind of like you already, you planted the seeds, you did the work. It might not be happening now, but it's guaranteed to. It's just a matter of time, because he can't really reap the fruit yet. He can't he can't take it off yet because it's not ready. So maybe for some of you, and this doesn't have to be for all of you, but for some of you, maybe there's some kind of a pause or a break or a separation or, something like that going on. Maybe they've mentioned to people. But I still kind of feel this like underlying, they really, something deep down in them is telling them it's like, there's no reason to like worry about it. They also could daydream about you a lot. People might have noticed that. You know, like people be talking or something to them and they will seem like they're not listening. It's because they're off, like, somewhere else with that person. And the reason I say that is because there's the moon card here. The moon card is highly psychic. So mixed with the romance card that you also have, I guarantee you they are not present. They're probably off banging them somewhere. Just to be perfectly honest with you. They're not hearing anything you're saying. They're off 1,000 miles away right now. Yep. You know, so definitely people might have noticed that. Maybe they've mentioned that you're kind of something that's all they think about. You know, it's almost intoxicating, I think. It's a weird, like, energy. Like, I definitely feel like a definite pause. Obviously, it's the, you know, Seven of Pentacles, but it just, like, they really, like, most people would be concerned over that. Do you know what I mean? They're not too concerned over it. So maybe they have kind of had some kind of realization, you know what I mean, and maybe come to terms with what's going on. So they're not really too worried about it. They might think, you know, because they have all this other stuff going on, like got the moon and the romance, the sun card, hermit, like these are all things, you know, that is happening. Oh, hold on. Okay. Sorry about that. I feel like they keep noticing, you know, and it's noticing what? I feel like they think that, like, it's going to happen because of what the work they've put in, like what they've done. Like they talk about, you know, what they've done for this. But not in like a shitty way, you know? Just like they've tried really hard. You know, they've worked really hard doing things and then making the decisions they needed to. Yeah, I just noticed, like in all these little bubble-looking things on here, there's like pictures of people. I've never noticed that before. Huh. That's interesting. See, that's something cool about tarot is like you could look at these cards for so long and you'll like notice things sometimes. I've noticed it usually has something to do like what you're talking about, but I can't figure out what this will be. Maybe it'll come out later. Oh, it's the same as the girl. It all looks like the same girl, unheaded girl. So maybe it's all the seeds she's planted. So someone very strategic, I'm guessing. Alright. I'm not going to go right into the romance one yet. Make you wait. Alright, the moon. The moon is such a wonderful card. The card itself in the regular tarot is kind of like, I don't want to say depressing, but it's got like real like mellow kind of cool tones to it, you know, and it's just not, I don't think it's represented as good as it should be sometimes. The moon is about psychic, even like your moon sign, like your emotions, like psychic abilities, those kind of things. Someone who has, who really resonates with the moon card would be someone who's very psychic, very intuitive, someone who's an empath. You know, they really, I feel like they're very, they may feel psychically connected in a way that was, like if they're mentioning this to other people, I think that it's kind of like, it surprises them. So they like mention like these coincidences to other people, like, oh, they said such and such or did such and such, and I happened to blah, blah, blah. You know, like it just like certain things, and it's like I was thinking about this, and then, you know, a few minutes later they did it, or like weird things that have happened, like, you know, they point out to people. I think they feel very like energetically connected to you in a way. Can't really show you on this card, but on the other card, there's two towers, and there's this road that goes in the middle. And on one side there's a dog, and on one side there's a wolf. Okay, so that's basically people, right? Good and bad, opposites, all that stuff. In the middle of the road, there's crawfish. Crawfish can't go backwards; they can only go forwards. So I think this is due to the psychic nature of it. I feel like there, again, this is like, if you haven't felt like, there has to be some kind of energetic connection here, because it's really like, so I saw the road, like you're supposed to meet along it, like you're supposed to, this, like it's supposed to happen, like they're very, maybe a good, I have such a hard time putting this into the words. Not faded. Like this is something that has to happen in their life. Like there's just no, there's no going back from it. There we go. Crawfish. No going back from it. Okay, there you go. So I think that that's really important to them. You know, it's almost like a accepting kind of, like they've accepted it. They've come to terms with it. They've, you know, they've talked about it. They've shared it with other people. I think there's definitely a lot of things going on, maybe behind the scenes that you're not aware of. You know, the moon can also signify, you know, secrets or things done behind the scenes. You know, so they might, you know, talk about you or think about you or a lot more than you could ever even imagine. Like they might really, like with the romance card here, like they could be, I don't want to say obsessed, because it's not like a, I don't get that kind of a, like that energy. It's just, it's very, it's strong. Borderline obsessed. Borderline. Close. I feel like maybe they've shared fears with, you know, family, maybe with friends. I don't know. you know, maybe they've had a few hell of a karmics in their past, you know, and they really just aren't trying to do that again. Maybe at one point they were kind of like, you know, but you know, I don't feel like that's there anymore. I think they've had those conversations with people, but I don't think that's where the energy is right now. I think it's just more of a knowing. It's more of a, well, you know, for those of you that aren't together right now, it's like a, well, we're not together now, but we're gonna be, you know, like, it's, like, it's a lot more, oof, it's a lot, shit. It's 12:34, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. I like numbers. Looking at the cards, like, if they're not together, usually, like, I've done enough readings to know that when you pull certain cards and things aren't happening, there's a pause. Like, it's usually not, like, cheerful. You know? Like, it's not like a cheerful pause. It's just like, oh, nothing's happening. But this doesn't have that. This isn't... And maybe it's because you guys are so psychic. Maybe it's because there's really no, maybe you've, you know, kind of mastered that whole there's no separation thing. Maybe, you know, for some of you, you might be doing that, where there is no, you're not together, you're not talking, because you're always together. They're always somewhere near you, you know, lurking around. I think I'm going to move on to the romance card. I think that it kind of, like, even for them at times, it might have been like skating on that, like, holy shit kind of intensity of feelings and, you know, romantic feelings. So obviously, I mean, if this is, you know, if you were thinking of somebody who you're not romantically involved with, like a sibling or, you know what I mean, like something like that, then this wouldn't apply to you. But for a large chunk of you, I feel like this person feels like it's a very, again, I don't want to say carnal. I think it I think it can be, like, but it's a lot more than that. It's that definitely, but it's a lot more than that. You know, there's a lot of different, like, can you see this girl in here? Like, she's like, ah. You know, just a touch is like enough to just, like, you know, melt her. It's like intoxicating. I like that they have like this, like, rose-colored border around it, because I think that's probably, like, when you're in their life, that's how they see things, like, real rose-colored. You know, like, everything's beautiful. You know, look at how look at how bright the sun is, and look at how green the grass is, and, you know, look at those clouds. Like, everything is just magic, you know. It's that kind of an energy. And maybe that's why, you know, they're not worried too much. You know, it's because it's not like this desperate, you know, I hope they're gonna love me. Like, it's not. It's this, it's just like no getting around it. And I know that sounds like really not romantic. Huh. You know, I do the, whatever pile I pick up, I guess the pile I do. So I did number 2 first today. So I really, if you don't watch number 2, you don't have to if you're not like drawn to, but I would suggest if you're feeling any of the stuff I'm talking about, you need to watch number 2 as well, because I really get this feeling again that I got. Same with number 2. Like there's something deeper, okay? And I don't want to say anything else, you know, you'll figure it out in number 2. But it's definitely, you know, and that's it. There could be carnal. That's why I said there could be carnal, because you'll see. All right. It is. It's just love drunk. Oh man. Baby, baby. Dun, 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 dun. That song. That's what I'm thinking. See, if anyone's like, you know, very psychic this way about, you know, they think with the person, like, let me know, because this is like, that's what I'm getting. I'm getting that these people are very psychically connected.
Mom, I'm gonna do a hug.
Daughter comes running here naked. Sorry. Yeah, Tara with kids. Okay. It's definitely, like, I think they definitely have mentioned, you know, that there's some sort of past connection here. There's some kind of binding, and if you stay for number 2, you'll get what the binding is. Like, it's good. It's like an accepting energy. You know, it's like really, and that again, number 2, it's non-judgmental. That's a great way of describing it. I don't know. It's just like I don't know how to describe it. Like, I feel like there's deep like camaraderie and like friendship, but it's definitely romantic. Definitely romantic. Okay, one of you, both of you, if you see how they're like holding me, like he's holding her and she's just like, ah. Yeah, that's, one of you I think is really like a protector, and one of you is like, you know, the person that likes to be like snuggled, you know? Like, they feel very safe. They feel very warm. Like, vulnerable but protected, you know? Because they're like, it's like an openness, but they're still very safe. It's really sweet. Oh, I'm gonna actually do the Hermit. Hermit is a great card. I love the Hermit. The Hermit is the go inside guy. He's really like into meditation. He's, you know, he's that higher self that's kind of leading you on your path. You know, he's a light bearer. He's a way shower. You know, he's got this big ass stick. You know, that's got to add some credibility, right? I want one of them. I'm gonna get like a big ass stick one day. I'm gonna get a big ass stick one day. I don't know. Anybody else? Comment down below if you also want a big ass stick someday. I think it'd be cool. Alright. Again, I really think this goes back to that, the moon energy, that psychic, behind the scenes, kind of deep within. I think a lot of the conversations going on might not necessarily be to other people, but could just be conversations between the both of y'all, just chatting. Okay, sorry. The Hermit. I need to work on that, saying Me and my sister were talking about that too. Like, how do we stop from saying I'm not too sure. I'm gonna work on it though. Again, going back to that Seven of Earth, the Seven of Pentacles, like it's like a guided thing. Like the work's already been done. Like everything, the seeds have been planted. Everything's going to kind of happen. And I think that it's just a matter of getting there. They feel very connected. It's almost like I don't know. It's like a twin flame energy that like they finally got shit figured out, you know? Yeah, it's really crazy. But it has like this like underlying like serious ass binding to it. Like it's just, maybe that's what it is. It's like they both just have, well, it's gonna happen. That kind of a surrender, maybe. I definitely feel like that's like what that girl's doing. Like that's the look she have on her face. It's just surrender. Just why fight it, you know? That kind of a thing. I think they've mentioned that they felt very guided. Too. He's like I said, he's the light bearer. The Hermit is somebody who will kind of show you the way, maybe nudge you in the right direction. Very wise. That's why he's usually cloaked in all gray. Gray is a sign of wisdom in the tarot. So anytime you see gray clouds, gray clothes, you can throw wisdom in the meaning of the card. It's a very silent knowing. I think would be a good description of what this feels like. It's like a accepted silent knowing. But I think because, you know, like I said, there's more to it than just this, you know, amazing psychic sex y'all are having, apparently. Definitely think for some of you this is twin flame energy, so. Okay. The Sun. I love the Sun card. The Sun is happy, it's energetic, you know, it's sunshiny, it's just everything is fresh and new and exciting and lovely and just bright and cheerful. You know, I think you really light them up. I think you light up a lot of sides of them too. For some of you, it could be even a side that wants children. You know, there's like a passion for living, almost like a I think you make them feel almost, I don't want to say childlike, you know, because, you know, the romantic undertones here, but in a way, it kind of is very childlike. It's very innocent, but it's vivacious, you know, it's, you remember how you like when you were a kid and things were just exciting and like, you know, it was almost like, that's what this is. It's almost like waiting for Christmas. But the fact that he's on a white horse, I mean, obviously draws out purity. So I really do think that a lot of the attentions, even the romantic ones, are very pure in nature. They're very, they're innocent in a way that, you know, they're not trying to, you know, take from you or, you know, corrupt you. Like this, everything is a very shared experience, and it's a very, you know, equal opportunity experience, you know, for both of you. I think they've definitely mentioned to people how you just have this ability to really, like, almost like, I'm picturing, you know, like right before sunset, like before it, like, you know, like that's what you are to them. Like, when you're there, that's it. That's all there is. It's all you notice. It's all you can focus on. Very, very, I think, in awe of how much, you know, of their life is kind of moved by one person. I think kind of like is extraordinary to them. You know, this kind of a connection definitely has not happened like to this extent with anyone else. So I think that's definitely something they're mentioning. Definitely. Excitement. Having to wait hasn't really dulled the sparkle here at all. If anything, I think it's like fanned it. Like made it even like more, it's like waiting for Christmas. It's like, like giddy. How sweet. That's really, really cute. So I definitely think, you know, you need to hang around, okay, and watch that second reading. I haven't done 3 yet, so I'm not sure how that one will connect. So I feel like hanging around for that one, hang around too. But I really do think that 1 and 2 are kind of connected here, just from I don't know what to say. I really think they're connected. If you don't feel it, you don't feel it. It's not a big deal. But if you are feeling it, head over and watch number 2. Thank you guys so much for commenting and writing in and, you know, sharing little bits of information about your life and the stuff that you're doing. I love it. I cannot wait to get on and respond to everyone when I come back on here to upload my videos. I can't even talk right now. And I just really am appreciative of them. I love them. I love hearing from everyone. What have I not mentioned? I try to mention everything at least once. Oh, my sister. If you aren't subscribed to my sister, you need to head over, Darling DeTaro, subscribe, and tell her congratulations. She just hit 7,000 subscribers, and I am so proud of her. I am so excited. I cannot believe it. She is just really, she kicks ass. She really does. So head over there and tell her I sent you. Tell her I love her. Yeah, I think that's it. If you need a reading, anybody who's gotten a reading from me, thank you so much. So much for getting a reading from me. It's really wonderful to be trusted to help you with such, you know, sensitive matters. And it makes me feel good knowing that I'm helping you. So if you have a reading, need a reading, go to DivineDestinyTarot.com and pick one out. I actually added a couple new ones, so I think there's a general love, which includes a free question in it for the reading, and then I also think I have a life purpose reading up now. Yeah, that's the one I added today. So, all right, have a good day. Let me know how this resonated. Let me know how you're feeling. Hell, if you're just bored and just want to say hi, do that. All right, bye. Hey, pile number 2. All right. So I hope you have somebody in mind, because they're the ones that's going to be this thing about what they're saying to people about you. So, ready? The Fool. I think I've said before how much I absolutely love the Fool. You know, I think whatever this person has kind of done for you, I think it's not even something you may have to even talk about. I think just everything about your demeanor, how you look at life, how you see things, everything people have noticed when this person is, you know, with you or conversing or, you know, whatever it is, the circumstance, they can see it already, that there's something different. The Fool is carefree, you know, he's when you start a whole new journey, something brand new, and you really don't know what's going to happen or anything. It's kind of unknown, but you're really excited about it. I feel like maybe, I don't know if this was like the Fool packs light. He packs really light. So maybe, you know, something that you've mentioned or they've mentioned could be a lack of baggage, which, you know, is nice. That's always very nice when you have somebody who's, you know, kind of putting the effort in and doing the work, the shadow work, the healing, those kind of things. That's attractive, you know. So would be something to write home about. Carefree. I definitely just feel like 11:55. Huh? It's just like a lightness, you know, like describe it. You just, I don't know, like, you ever see, like, the picture, Leonardo DiCaprio, and he's, like, walking, and he's, like, real happy? Like that. Like you're still you, but just, like, a super happy version of it. No, I don't know. It's like people are just like, wow, you sure are in a good mood. So I don't think it's necessarily something that, you know, you have to, like, go out on a limb and be like, you know, kind of interested in somebody. I think people probably are, like, piecing it together, maybe, a little bit. Maybe, like, maybe it was they were free spirit. The Fool is very easygoing. He doesn't really make a whole lot of attachments to things that he really doesn't need. You know what I mean? Like, I think he doesn't have more than he needs. And he likes it like that. So I definitely think that they talk about you in a very positive way. It's very just lighthearted. It's a weightless kind of, just cheerful and just, it's really nice. It's sweet. It's like a giddy, you know what I mean? Like, any kind of news is like, you know, something else happens. Maybe they have, because the Fool has a companion, maybe they have, like, they've mentioned the same love of animals. Maybe you both have a love of animals, and that's something that they've mentioned. You know, because that's important to a lot of people, you know, like, I love animals, so, like, to be with somebody who hates animals would be like, you know? Hold on 1 second. I'm thirsty as hell. Ugh. Sorry. Okay. Trust me. Maybe they feel that, like, you're lighthearted, like, you make them feel very, just, you know, that weightless, like, all in love kind of feeling. Uh-oh. The card that scares a lot of people. One of the cards. The devil, you know, I think he gets a bad rap, you know, kind of like the Queen of Swords. I think it just depends on how you look at it. In this scenario, though, I really feel like it's not any of the dark, I mean, you know, to other people, I think they're very respectful. I mean, if there was a different card, you know, it could be about them, you know, talking about things they might want to do with you. But, you know, as far as with other people, I don't think they'd be talking about like that. Probably talk like that to you. But, oh. The devil. The devil is like, it binds. It's a very binding card. So they may feel like you're just meant to be in their life. They may tell people that, you know, you're the person they've been waiting for, you know, that kind of it was written kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's just, it's going to happen. It's that kind of a thing. They definitely feel like there's some kind of connection that's deeper than like a surface. You know, when you're just like meeting someone and like getting to know them and stuff like that. Like it's beyond that. Like it was immediate, and it was kind of like, you know what I mean? So there's a bond there. There's some kind of bond that runs, I would say, a lot longer than this lifetime has been. And I think that, you know, that's something that they've might have told people. Like it almost doesn't matter. Like they're like, they know. Like that's it. Move on from the devil. I don't know who's a Capricorn. I'm supposed to mention Capricorn. I'll mention it. Capricorn. One of you's Capricorn. You're Capricorn. Maybe you're both Capricorn, and that's like I don't know. Don't know. Let me know if it means something to somebody out there. No idea. But I have to say these things when I hear them. So, Capricorn. Astrology. You know, that might have been a big part of them telling people too, is, you know, maybe they're numbers people, and they're into the numbers and how you guys match up that way. Maybe it's, you know, astrological. They have a fire sign here or a water sign here. You know, everything's, you know, it could be something like that too. So I'm moving on to Queen of Earth. Queen of Earth is Queen of Pentacles. I love her. She really is. She's sweet. She's down to earth. She's kind. She's got like that motherly, you know, just very, very sweet vibe. She loves animals. She's just like sunshine. It's like being around sunshine. You know, just nice, warm, just nice. She's also somebody that really can take care of herself. You know, she has a lot of manifesting ability, a lot of manifesting power. So maybe, you know, this is something that they've kind of picked up on you, is you really are kind of independent. You know, and for a lot of people, that's a really great thing, because, you know, you don't want people to rely on you. You know what I mean? Like, you should be able to take care of yourself. So that might be like a big thing for them, you know, that you can, you know, handle your own shit, that kind of a thing. You know, I definitely feel like they've mentioned like your level-headedness, maybe your ability to kind of stay kind of calm in situations that maybe a lot of people wouldn't be able to. And you don't seem materialistic. The Queen of Earth is like a mother hen, you know, like she always makes time and prioritizes things. So I think maybe that they might also agree or like kind of see eye to eye with how priorities are with you. Maybe you guys have the same kind of priorities, the same values and morals that really work for each other. You know, it's like a temperament thing. Like that might be another thing brought up, is like just how much like you they are. I think they've probably mentioned maybe that they'll make time. Something about they'd make time. Huh. I feel like they tell people, like, they kind of brag about you in a way, like things that you've like accomplished, or like just or what you've been able to accomplish. You know, like they're proud of you. Like it's hard to. It's almost like they recognize that, you know, you've both had a lot of challenges. You know, and you might have to learn a lot of the same things, and like they recognize that. Maybe that's what it is. It's more like the challenges that they've also faced. All right, let's see. I'm really drawn to that Devil card, though. I really feel like that's like, that might be like the key thing in this. What they're telling people about you is that Devil card. Like that has something like serious to do with, you know, why they're talking about you to people. I think is whatever is going on here, whatever is tethering you guys together. I don't think it's like a, you know, they call them the karmic, you know, those guys. Like, I don't think it would be that kind of tumultuous. I'm not really getting that kind of energy. It's definitely more of a deep-rooted soul connection. I think would be the best way to describe it. Here's the Strength card. Strength card I love, obviously. It's number 11. Strength card is obviously about strength, but, you know, not all strength, you know, is that physical strength. You don't have to be very physically strong to be a very strong person. You can be strong-willed. You can be emotionally strong. You can be spiritually strong. You know, there's always different ways of having strength, and sometimes different challenges. You know, you have to be able to display a multitude of these different types of strength. You know, so they may also have had, I keep hearing similar experiences that are, it's almost like they keep getting like the feeling it's like this incredible faded thing that like that you just, I don't know. Feels like they've waited. They have told someone they've waited like so long. You know? I think they've also noticed, and I don't know if they've mentioned this to other people, but I think they've noticed their lack of like judgment. You know what I mean? They're really not very judgmental of you. You know, it's like you both kind of understand the challenges and things that you've had to have strength from and kind of grow from. And I think that having those experiences kind of, I don't want to say dulls you down from having judgmental things, but it can, when you are able to see more sides to stories, you know, you become less judgmental. Like when you've had to actually live that way, when you've had to actually have that problem, when you've had to actually, you know, go through those experiences, you tend to become less judgmental having lived in them. So maybe there's really a lot of shared lessons, you know, and this, again, I really feel this is some kind of spiritual, like this is a very spiritually based relationship. And I think if, you know, if they're speaking about it to other people, which if it's that much of a spiritual relationship, they'd probably have to have some like really spiritual friends to be talking about this stuff with, because otherwise I think they'd just be keeping it to themselves, because this really is, I heard heaven sent, yeah. You know, and it's almost like everything ties back to this devil card. Like even the strength, I feel like it ties back to this. Like something's gonna happen. Like no matter what. It's just a matter of getting through it. Like that, like no matter what, you're gonna do anything to be together. That kind of, like it's going to just end up like that. It's kind of how it feels. They definitely think very highly. And like I said, you know, depending on the friends, depending on the people they're talking to, if that's even, they're able even to get this out, you know what I mean? Because it's, how deep of a connection this might be could be like, you know, again, not something talked about a whole lot, I guess, sometimes, with like just acquaintances and stuff. But I think to close people, family even, yeah, good stuff. The last one you got is answered prayer. So how perfect is that? I think you two were really, I keep hearing fated, and I don't want to keep using the word fated, but, or destined. I just, it's almost like it was decided upon, you know, like, and when you both were ready, you kind of called out for it. Like, even though neither of you might have known you did it. But I think maybe at different points you did. And it kind of maybe activated it coming back to you. And that's why this feels like, you know, because there are things I think that wait till certain times and divine timing and things happening right exactly when they need to. So I really do think that, you know, maybe they've told people they've prayed for you. Maybe they've, you know, you're their dream person. I definitely feel like you guys dream about each other a lot. Speaking of dreams. Very connected. So I guess, you know, if they're sharing this stuff with people around them, it just depends on them, how comfortable with that kind of stuff they are, and how close they are to the people they're telling. But this is all the stuff they're feeling. So I think they've, you know, if they're not mentioning it to anybody else, they're definitely, you know, running these reels in their head. So, really, really good. I hope that was helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, subscribe, like, give me a comment. If you have any ideas for pick a card or a reading that you'd like, let me know. I'm always open to suggestions. Visit my sister, Darlene D. Tarot, for more tarot inspiration. She's absolutely amazing. You will love her. She is past 7,000 subscribers now. Woo! So we're really proud of her. And I love you, Dana. All right, so go give her some love over there. Tell her how proud you are. Just gotta support her. What else? Oh, everyone getting readings, thank you so much. It's so great. If you need a reading, divinedestinytarot.com. They're definitely affordable. All right, that's it. I hope everyone has a really good day. And congratulations on that wonderful connection you have. It's pretty cool. And it doesn't sound like there's anything you can do to stop it. Have fun. Bye. Hi, pal number 3. All right, so, you know, I'm going to point out 1 and 2, they were connected. I know they were. Just from the vibe and the energy I got from it, a lot of people who have number 1 will feel for number 2 and vice versa. I'm saying that because I also feel the same for number 3. If you've watched number 1 and 2, you know, I definitely mentioned twin flame energy a bunch of times, and we have the lovers. So I do think this is like a twin flame kind of energy. That's just what I'm feeling, you know, but these are, I think for a lot of you, on some of these, it's going to be, twin flames that are like more like further along, I think, in the journey, you know, who are past the separation stage, you know, and you might not even be in physical union, but you're definitely past separation. There's no such thing as that, right? So for those of you past that point, I know that you probably will resonate with all 3 of these. If you haven't gone back and watched 1 and 2, you might want to do that after you watch this one. Okay? All right, so where should I start? Oh, they're all really great cards. They really are. I'll just start with the lovers. Okay. So lovers. Also card of Gemini. Raphael is the archangel for the lovers. Now the lovers could mean, for those of you who aren't thinking of somebody romantic, I mean, it can be any kind of relationship, personal, professional, anything. You know, it can be impacted by the Lovers card. But typically, you know, with this kind of a card, you would look around it and see what kind of cards surround it. I do feel a lot of romantic energy, a lot of twin flame energy. So for some of you, it's going to be, you know, a twin flame thing. I'm sure you will know who you are. See, on either side, I think there's, both of them might know. I think they both know about, like, they know, obviously they know. See, I feel like, and that's like, this has really been hard because, like, this is supposed to be, like, what people, like, what they're saying about you, you know what I mean? Like, what are they telling people? And, like, for some, like, they are telling some things, you know what I mean? But for a lot of this, like, there's just stuff going on, like, between the both of you. A lot. Like, it might be more of a, like, an intimate kind of kind of a thing, you know. Maybe it's not something too talked about all the time. Maybe it's more, I don't want to say secret, like on the lowdown. I think it kind of is. It's a very intimate kind of a relationship. Like, I don't think there's really a need for too many outside. Like, I think there are outside aspects of it, people that, you know, they've talked to and they've mentioned certain things and, you know, but I don't think it's to the extent of what it really is, like, completely to both of you. You know? Like, I don't... Like, there's some things that have been said, but there's been some, like, a whole lot not said to people. And I don't know if that's just because it's easier, you know, because it's like maybe a difficult situation to just have to explain, or you just don't want to have to explain it. You know, maybe it's just, like, ridiculously unbelievable still. You know, you just, how are you going to tell people that? Like, you'd have to be pretty... a certain kind of comfortable, I think, with somebody to bring this kind of a relationship out. I think it's very, like, even... Like, there's no one who's getting less. Like, everyone's getting equal everything. You know what I mean? It's not where one person benefits more than the other one. It's very equal. And understanding. I think it's had to have been for, like, how intimate a relationship it is. Two of fire. Two of fires, two of wands. It's, fire is always, you know, action. It's always passion. It's always fiery. It's always energetic. So to me, this kind of points out the beginning, because two is it's low. When you go through the cards of the tarot, it starts at the ace and then 2, 3, 4, and all the way up until you get to a king. So I mean, a 2 is relatively low. So I mean, perhaps maybe in the physical, this is not you know, exactly manifested itself yet. Maybe it's not, maybe it's just starting. You know what I mean? Things are just kind of like warming up. But I think there has been some kind of a not an agreement, but it's almost like they, I guess, like an agreement. Kind of, it feels like they made an agreement on something. I'm not sure what the agreement is. Maybe it's just to move forward, just to, or to continue moving forward, because it's only a 2, so that means it's, you know, still in the lower, maybe even the planning stages. It's really not, it shows a lot of promise, it shows a lot of effort, you know, for both people, because ones are action. So I mean, there is there is effort, there is, you know, passion, there is all that there. So it's there. It's just, it's not, it's just not that far yet. But it seems like it's okay. Like if you see in here, like they're okay, these guys. They're like walking together, but they're happy. They're not like pissed that they have to be walking or there's shit to do. Like they're just, all right, I guess we'll go do this now. You know, very easy, just back and forth. There's like not a rush. It's like it's almost like they know that there's a lot like ahead still. Like it's not but they're enjoying it. I feel like they really talk about to other people how different of a relationship this is. This is some kind of relationship to where they're really it's just a whole other level than what they've really ever experienced before. And I think that this is definitely something that has been mentioned before to people. Yeah, I feel like they both work on themselves a lot too. You know, so maybe that might be something that they find very attractive is, you know, they may have mentioned that, you know, that you practice self-care, you really take care of yourself well, you're put together, you're, you seem like you have, you know, I mean, obviously nobody has everything figured out, but you seem like you have a good grasp on reality, whatever that is, you know. I feel like it's almost like a, and now this, maybe this is all happening for some of you if you don't even know who your twin is, if this is really a, you know, a twin flame thing. It's almost like they kind of pair up for the long haul, is what I'm getting. It's like they finally like went over a hurdle, you know, and they realized you know, they realize things and they're over this hurdle, but it's like, you ever see like in movies and stuff, like they climb and they climb and they climb and they're like finally at the top and they're like, yeah, and they like get to the top and they peek over and there's like another mountain. But the only thing about that is I think they're kind of okay with that at this point. Which is, you know, and again, okay. Sorry about that. You know, like Frodo, you know, and Sam, it's like that kind of a thing. Like you're just, I guess you're in it for the long haul. You know, whatever kind of crap that might invite in, whatever you have to go through, whatever, you know, whatever it is. But luckily, I think there's like a really good attitude about it now. Maybe not before, but I definitely, looking at the other cards, I think that there's been a lot of challenges. I think things that, you know, were learned lessons, karmic things that you've had to learn, patterns, stuff like that. You know, I think it probably all went back to, you know, ego a lot, but It's almost like it's a decided on partnership. Again, if you watch the other readings, there's some parts of these that just, even though they're romantic in nature, they seem very like signing a contract, not romantic. And it's weird because it's like romantic, 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 all this energy. I'm feeling that it's like contractual. I don't get it. I mean, it might go back to that, you know, pile number 2, it has that devil energy, the devil card. And that's very, you're bonded, you're tethered together. There's really no, and with this Wheel of Fortune, that's karma, that's fate, that's destiny. That's, you know, so I think that it's something that has been decided upon a long time ago, and maybe now it's finally really moving a little bit. And I think it's because how everyone's attitude has changed. Although if I don't know if it was, I think it was number 1 was like super romantic, like that might have helped too. There's just like so many different like levels. You know, and that's why I think there's so much of this they haven't said to other people, is because it just feels like this faded kind of, like, how do you tell people that if they're not, like, first of all, into that kind of stuff? Because a lot of people that aren't into that kind of stuff, you know, they wouldn't know what a twin flame is. They wouldn't know, you know, I'm sure they've heard soulmate, but I'm sure they don't know the types of soulmates, you know. So how do you kind of start off talking about that? Like, I think it's mostly things that other people would also find interesting, coincidences, things you can't really explain, things that go on, things that are said, and like even the other people are like, yeah, that is kind of weird, you know. But I think a lot of what's going on here is kind of psychically is kind of on the down low with that moon card in there. Two of Fire is making plans. It really, it's beginning to take that next step. It's not just an Ace of Wands. It's actually manifested into something, and it's actually moving. So it's progress. Maybe they're excited. Maybe they've told somebody that they're happy how, you know, the relationship is progressing. Maybe they're happy that it's progressing at all. You know, with the kind of energy this could be, if it is a twin flame thing, I mean, you never know, you know, how those things work sometimes. You know, anyone in a twin flame relationship will know what that's like. So this one was very close to especially number 1. And this would kind of be almost like a devil card, like that tethering to fate, to destiny, to just the karmic cycle of things that you are having to do. Like, there's no getting off of it. Like, this is happening this lifetime, you know. And that's, I think, goes back again to that devil card energy. That's the kind of feeling I got, is there was a pact made, there was some kind of a something, and this is happening, like. And then mixed with this could be a passion card, you know, the I'm sorry, like, I get it, you know, like, to not be judgmental. Me and my sister were just talking about this, the Knight of Wands, like, who, like, the ultimate, like, fuckboy energy would be. It was unanimous. Knight of Wands. In this sense, though, I don't think it's that kind of energy. I do think it's that level of passion. it's very reminiscent, feels very much like that, that first pile. So if you haven't watched that, go ahead and watch that one. But it's very unbridled. It's very, in some ways carnal. It's very just, it's incredible. And that's another thing that I think they probably would feel comfortable mentioning, is the level of passion. You know, it's just more passionate than anything you could ever imagine. I kind of get the feeling like maybe one of you are at opposite times the other one, like it's somebody wants to like go in and say something or kick something off, or you know, like rush in. The Knight of Wands is very fast. Other than the Knight of Swords, he's the fastest knight in the tarot deck. But he's also the most brazen. So I think that this really is something that's kind of thought about like in the heat of the moment, like when it just gets kind of over, like just unbearable anymore. You know, you're just like, you have to like somehow contact them, somehow hear from them, somehow. You know, Knight still does things to learn. He's still learning how to be that king. So I think and I don't think it's just that one person, but I think there at times have been both of them where it's this kind of push and pull of learning things. But there's a passion in everything, and they definitely feel that. They definitely notice it. They definitely tell people. There's a passion unlike anything else. Doesn't even make sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. And especially it will make no sense whatsoever if they're really like the other, what was it, pile number, what pile was that? Was it one, or I can't remember if it was one or two, but one of them was like super psychic, like y'all are having conversations constantly. Like telepathy is big with you guys. And it's almost like overwhelming. Like I think maybe they've tried mentioning that to people, like the people that understand that kind of stuff. Or if they've tried mentioning it to people that don't really, and they try to explain it to them, but they were just like, oh yeah? You know, somebody really wants to take action. One of you. Maybe that's what they're saying. They want to be able to take some kind of action forward. Maybe they want to make a move. Again, I had this vision, I don't know how long ago, but it was like, it was the same feeling. It's like being like a horse inside of like at a horse race, and you're like in the starting gate or whatever, and like that, like you just want to like get out. And, like you're just waiting for like the door to, like something to fly open, something to like, something else just has to like line up where it opens that gate. And that's going to be the end of it. Like, whoever this person is, then they're making their move. They're going. But if this is, like, connects to all of them, that pile 1, it was 7 of Pentacles. Like, this is, they're waiting on that thing to open that gate because they've already planted these seeds. They've already, like, they know. Huh. There's no waiting. It's not. It's just like this. They're ready to go, but there's something that has to, like, before they can. So maybe they've mentioned to people, like, that there's something in the way, that there's something that needs to leave or to go away, you know, like something that needs to be, like, lifted, like taken out. Some of you in a third-party situations, like where there might be a spouse involved or something like that. But it's almost, it's not like, you know, it's not like you're like, oh, they'll just break up, or you're like gonna do things to break them up. It's not like that. It's like you're just waiting for the universe to just do whatever it's supposed to be doing. Alright, Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune is number 10. 10 is about endings and, more importantly, new beginnings. Anytime you have an ending, you automatically have a new beginning. So it's better to look at endings as just as beginnings. It's a lot easier. It's a lot nicer. You know, when something ends, it's because something else is beginning. It's a great way to look at things, and it's really why a lot of tarot readers can look at some of these cards and not freak out. You know, like if you see the 10 of Swords, I mean, it's literally a person with a bunch of swords shoved in their back. I mean, it's hard to look too positively on that, right? No, it's easy actually once you understand the power of 10, what 10 actually means. You know, it's a like rebirth. 10s are really powerful. Okay. Hopefully she's done running in here. So Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune is it's karma, it's fate, it's destiny, it's just things that are bound to happen. Okay. The Wheel of Fortune is, you know, it's a good representation of your life on a card, in a way. You know, as it turns, you experience the things you need to experience, meet the people you need to meet, blah, blah, blah. As it turns and these things happen. You're continuously turning. I mean, it might seem like you're not, but things are continuously turning because, you know, even though it might not be, you know, something that's happening to you, maybe somebody else is having to have something go on in their life, you know, and that's turning, everything's turning it. So I think that there's something to do. I haven't had that vision. It was the same vision of the horse in the starting gate. Just like somebody is just waiting to like bust the hell out of this gate. but there's something there, and it's something that, like, they can't, like, fuck with. Like, I don't... Like, it's almost something that they know has to play out in a way that's destined to. Like, they can't meddle in it. They want to. I think they've expressed that. Maybe they've asked for, like, direction. It's like they... I feel like somebody had to explain to them, like, consequences of messing with things like that. Almost like explaining law. Like, they've brought this up, you know, and they've talked about the situation. They've talked about, you know, everything that's going on. But it's like they had to be reminded almost, like they can't do what they're wanting to do yet. I don't know if it was the universe that did this. I don't know if this was a friend or a loved one or whatever it was, but it's definitely been brought up, whatever that situation is, for some of you. I mean, some of you are going to be like, it doesn't pertain to you then. It's like this overwhelming, just fated thing. I definitely feel like this isn't just, like, on their end, though. I think maybe you also will be feeling this way. Like, if this resonates with you, like, I really do think that you're also feeling this way. Like, it's very, spiritual. It's happening on a lot of different levels. And I think there's something that has to be very karmic going on, like, in one of your lives. But the wheel is turning, so no need to worry. Worrying just wastes time. There's no point to it. What will happen will happen, so do you want to spend it, like, miserable, or, you know, emerging? It's a pretty card. Emerging, it's a really nice card, actually. It's about authenticity. It's about true self. I think they might talk about how authentic you are, how much you kind of know who you are, what you're about, things you agree with. Just, you really have almost like a way about you that's just very refreshing, I guess, in a way. It's like you don't have a personality to them like a lot of other people do. And, like, the more they learn about it and the more they get to know it, I think the more it's really kind of a big deal. I think there is kind of a level, though, of them wanting maybe to be able to express more. I get the feeling like maybe, you know, they've mentioned that they would like to get to know you more. They'd want to spend more time with you. You know, if that's not what is emerging, I think at the very least, I think they've been kind of honest with at least family and very close friends that, you know, their feelings that are emerging. At least, you know, the deepness of them. Maybe not to the total extent, but 147. Anyone else seeing 111 a lot? I have been seeing 111 constantly. So if anyone else is seeing that, I would love to know who is seeing that. Let me know. Comment below if you're hopefully watching this. I feel like there's almost... It doesn't make much sense. There's almost like timidness. You know, like, I don't know, for those of you who have kids, like, you know, like when your kid might meet someone they don't really know very well and they kind of like, you know, they're not afraid, but they're definitely not like being their normal kind of self. I think sometimes there's been some times where the energy maybe has been overwhelming. So maybe that's something that they've kind of shared too, is that they just, you know, they would like to get to know you more. They would like to do more, but they just, I think sometimes it's just like overwhelming, you know, and then that could go back to, you know, that Knight of Wands romance card energy where it's just physically, emotionally, spiritually, it's just like overwhelming. But I think that's, you know, it's on the way up. Like, bringing back that two of Wands, like it might be low, but it's moving. You know what I mean? It might be not like way in the middle or end of the story, but it's like at least in the beginning and there's movement. So I do see that, you know, they have said that they want to be able to be near you more, to spend time with you more, talk to you more. You know, other than obviously how they are conversing already, which is telepathically for most of you, or just a couple of you. I don't know. Like, I never know how these readings will go, if they'll resonate with a lot of people, if it'll just be for a couple people. I mean, well, I'm helping somebody, you know. So, but let me know if it did resonate with you, if it made any sense, if you're one of the people that, you know, this is going on with. I think that is such a cool stage of twin flames. You know, when you start getting the telepathy and stuff like that, it's really, it's interesting. So if you're there, let me know. All right, I think that's it. Oh, my sister hit 7,000 subscribers. Woo! So Darling D Tarot, head over there, tell her congratulations, that we're so proud of her. I'm so proud of her. I love her so much. I never know which one she's going to pick, so I just make sure I add her in every number. That way, no matter what number she picks, she'll know that I'm proud of her. I'm proud of you, Dana. Yeah. Oh, readings. Thank you for getting readings from me. Thank you so, so much. I love it. If you need readings from me, DivineDestinyTarot.com. I have readings, whatever you're wanting to spend, you can spend it there. Alright, if this resonated, like I said, comment. I love reading your comments. I love everyone sharing their energy and just, I love it. I love being a part of this beautiful collective here. So, alright, I hope everyone has a really great day, and I will get this up in a little bit. Bye.